Welcome.
Oh no.
Fantastic. Welcome to Husky Radio.
Husky Radio.
You're here.
Hey, what up?
You're watching us. You're ready to see some news from these four handsome faces.
It's handsome here, don't lie.
Handsome.
Well, I think a few of you are handsome.
Thanks.
Maybe. Maybe not. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see some people starting to filter into the stream. Welcome to Husky Radio, February 28th. We're here with your video game news, your reviews and views and brouhahas. I love that word, and we're going to keep that word.
Brouhaha.
That word is sticking around.
A brouhaha witch.
Sticking like a
Yeah.
non-stick Teflon pan. Well, that would quite make sense, does it?
Yeah, because that's non-stick.
There we go. Yeah,
But
here
it's
we
probably
are.
not sticking, so we're good.
We're going to be talking tonight about a ton of things. We're going to talk about Jimquisition a little bit, as his lawsuit has finally, thankfully, wrapped up. We're going to be talking about some speed running of NES games, a variety of other things, a little bit of Marvel gaming news. Want to make sure we talk about tonight. And, of course, we are planning for the Switch. And so that is extremely important. That's this week, gentlemen. That is just a few days away.
Oh,
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the Switch?
Yes.
puke.
I
My
can't
body's
wait.
ready.
I can't wait to shut down this channel and forget all about it once I have the Switch in my life and I don't have any time for Destiny.
My
Cops or
body
any of that
is
crap.
ready.
That seems fair. That seems fair.
Yeah.
What are your... So, Kyle, you are not getting the Switch on day one,
I have
correct?
not pre-ordered it.
If I had to
Could
guess,
you
you
even
didn't have
get
to
it
add.
on day one if
knows?
it's like not if you didn't pre-order it, or they
mean, I'm
have like
sure-
a fresh
Maybe.
batch.
I bet
I'm sure
you
You got
could.
like a
Probably
hot
could
batch
somewhere.
coming out of the oven.
They've said that it's going to be better than, like, the NES Mini was. That you might be able to pick up a couple of them.
It's better than the NES Mini because I could pre-order it more than 5 minutes after the thing was announced.
Yeah.
So,
That is
So
very
that-
true.
but
Very, very
I don't
true.
think you needed to add the qualifier when the day it comes out. If I were a betting man, Kyle Davidson will never own a Nintendo Switch.
You think so?
That's
Just-
no.
He's yet to make the jump to Nintendo, and I don't think this one's gonna be
My
enough
first,
of a.
my first
groundbreaker.
video
Okay.
game purchase was the Nintendo DS. No,
Game
yeah,
Boy Advance SP.
the Game Boy SP. That was my first console purchase. One of two. The other one was the Xbox
Yeah.
360. Actually, I bought two Xbox 360s because I got the Star Wars one, obviously, when that 360 was out with the C3PO controller.
I wanted to do that.
but
I've got that. I've got that right over here.
Yep.
I have hope that like in a year maybe I'd get it. You know, I think it's on its way. I have hope that the Switch will continue to grow and get better and better. Everything I see every day pretty much gives me hope that it'll go. It didn't convince me to buy it, pre-order it right off the bat, but I don't know. It looks cool. I'm excited for everyone else. Like Breath of the Wild looks pretty cool and stuff. So
Oh yes, it does.
Yeah,
So
I am excited. That is definitely a day one purchase and play for me. It's been pre-ordered. Hoping that it will arrive before I grab the system, but we'll see. Any other? I mean, Will, Scott, you guys got first day one plans with your Switch?
I plan to get home, not sleep, download whatever updates I have to download because every console's that way. There'll probably be like
course.
4 hours of downloading shit before I can play.
Mhm.
And then I'm just going to start playing Breath of the Wild and probably stream it on the Twitch and not stop until I can't stay awake anymore.
I love
You
it.
getting at
Will?
midnight? You getting
Of
at
course.
midnight? Yeah, I'm getting mine at midnight. And I got Zelda, I got Bomberman, and I got 1-2 Switch, which looks terrible, but whatever. I got it. And my plans are get home, set it up, play some Bomberman until I fall asleep, then wake up the next day and start streaming Zelda on YouTube. So works out
Nice.
perfectly.
Nice. Yeah, that's my plan. I will be picking it up on Friday, not midnight. I got to work in the morning, so right after work.
I'm gonna text Tyler so many spoilers while he's at work.
I know.
Spoilers.
I know. I will not be checking my phone.
I'm gonna text
I
your
will.
students and
Link
have
is
them
a
answer questions with spoilers.
Oh, it will be awful. It will be awful. And it's a really slow day at class too. I'm there for 3 extended periods, and I'm only teaching during one of those periods.
You should just pick it up before you go and then just
And take
keep
it
under
with
your
me.
desk.
Yes, I have
Under your desk.
considered that.
That's the beauty of the Switch.
I
There you
have
go.
considered
You
that.
can play it while your
We will
students are
see.
taking a test or whatever.
We will
Like,
see.
That's it.
At this point, we've just picked up Zelda, and I think that'll be enough for a while. I'm certain that if my wife and I can share, that will be enough. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I know Kyle's skeptical, but I'm looking forward to dragging him over and making him watch how easy it is to go from tablet, mobile mode to TV mode and then back and make him play
Kyle
something.
will not be allowed to touch my Switch ever.
Okay.
He said too many hurtful things
Real
in the
quick.
past.
my intentions
He needs
were
to
not-
apologize.
I've always wanted the Switch. It didn't convince me to buy it, but I always wanted the Wii U too, but I just couldn't put the money out for it. So maybe I'll shell out money one day for this console. But
I want your child to go hungry because you bought a Switch. That's all I'm saying. Is that too much to ask?
it's fine.
Spend Carrie's money on a Nintendo Switch.
I think that's a
please.
great idea.
I'll just take out some more loan money. It's fine.
Oh,
That's
there you
perfect.
Go. There you go.
That's what it's there
Yeah.
for. Money is for spending, not for saving. That's the whole point of money.
You can't take
Can't take it with you.
But what if you can? What if it's
Oh,
like,
God.
you die and then the afterlife, your save carries over, and if you had your money still, you could have bought something really good.
It's New Game Plus when you die.
You
Well, I
can't build great credit without first building crushing debt. That's Officer Tragus. Wise
fact.
words.
It is.
Yes.
True
Written
fact.
by a man who understands
fact.
credit 0%.
Oh no!
That might as
Oh
well be true
no!
to me. I have no idea.
Do not
I've never
listen
had
to the
a-
advice given by these men.
No. I worked at a financial institution for IRAs and stuff. I didn't
Still feel like you should know what
credit.
credit is if you
I
work.
mean, I know what credit
Oh.
is, but I don't know a damn thing about building it properly. And I've never had a loan in my life. I've never owed anybody money, really. So,
That's probably a good place to be in.
oh well, then you have no credit.
Then
which
you have
is not
zero
good.
credit. So
But that's what the wife is. So it's fine.
yeah.
It's good.
Okay. There has been some Switch news this week. We know that there will be some games that will not play on the TV. They'll only play in tablet mode. Nintendo just today dropped a bunch of indie titles. Gentlemen, does that excite you, or is it just another day in the park? Here we go.
I was excited by all those indie titles. The thing that I don't know, I'm probably gonna buy most of them on Xbox, which is a problem. But some of them that had the idea of they could play with 2 people and you got your 2 Joy-Cons, probably is gonna make me buy a couple of them on the Switch itself. I can't remember exactly. If I were to buy Yooka-Laylee, I'd probably buy it on the Switch just because that seems like a Switchy game.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I already have Shovel Knight and Stardew Valley and stuff and Binding of Isaac, but I don't know, I might pick up one or all of those again. So
Yeah, to have them mobile. Scott, were there any that excited you?
None that really blew me away. Cause Will, I own the ones that I'm really interested in already. So Shovel Knight, I might get it, but I don't know, kind of doubt it. And then Isaac maybe. Fast Racing RMX is the only one that really kind of interests me, and that's just because I like F-Zero a lot, and I've always wanted Nintendo to do something with F-Zero, and since they haven't,
you gotta go fast.
I gotta go fast. I'm off. The game that it's most linked to is F-Zero GX, probably
Definitely.
on GameCube, and that game's I've owned it. I couldn't even beat the second story mission. It's so friggin' impossibly fast, but
Yes.
I still want it. I want to go fast. I got the need for speed.
Yeah,
What
that
about
one
you?
excited me. That one excited me. I think there are a few games on there that I have not checked out. Things like Binding of Isaac, Stardew Valley. And so to see them on the Switch does excite me, that I might finally pick them up and be able to play them, on the go. And so that excites me. I think there are a lot of games on there that could potentially be really cool. I would love to finally pick up Shovel Knight. War Groove. War. Is that what? War Groove.
That's an interesting
pretty
name.
Cool. Yeah,
like based on the name, I thought it was gonna be like
what it was,
game plus like rhythm, but there wasn't any of that.
It's really
so
not. No, it
reminds
me of Advance Wars, and I think that could be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm more indie developers. I think in the long run is good, and I think it makes it look more like a solid mobile replacement, solid mobile console.
As someone who is basically wanting to buy the Switch, but wanting to buy it when it has more substance, it was very cool to see all the indie games that they announced today. Because, if you remember when we were talking about the Switch, one of my things I thought would fix it was like the introduction of an app store, getting third-party developers to come in and make games for it. And I think that this is a cool. At least it seems like a good step towards that. I don't know exactly how the indie games work, like you pay for them and stuff. Like, I don't know. I just want to. It's a cool thing. I want the Switch to have a ton of substance, and I think it will, based on how well it's selling, and people are going to jump on board because there's money there, and so that it's very exciting to see all that stuff. So
yeah, I like that it's going to have a more. I like the idea of games that don't work on the TV because it's going to have more of the apps that I'll never buy, the crap mobile games in my mind, but the fact that it has those will be a selling point to some parents who, if they're looking like, I'm going to buy my kid this Amazon Fire tablet this year, or I can get them this thing that already plays those same games and plays actual games.
Does more in theory.
Maybe it'll have a chance.
Yeah, that'd be...
Plus, more touchscreen stuff, which is kind of cool. If you put that touchscreen on the system, you might as well use it, especially in games. So I'm secretly still holding hope that Zelda is going to let me use the touchscreen to move items to the active slot, because after playing Zelda games on Wii U and on 3DS for like the last 10 years, I don't want to go back to having to press pause and then selecting all my items and then going back. This is terrible.
Hey, that reminds
way
me.
to live.
I can pick up Breath of the Wild on Wii U, right?
Yeah.
So if one of you wanted to, give me your Wii U now that you guys have the Switch, get the Breath of the Wild.
I will sell you a chance to win it in a raffle. I'll tell you that.
Good.
That's
right,
what you can.
That can happen. You can borrow my Wii U as long as I get to keep the copy of Breath of the Wild in the long run for a collection's sake. That's all I'm saying. And with the Breath of the Wild Wii U, all that I've read is that there's some frame rate drops, but it's mostly in like unimportant areas, like just when you're walking and it's raining heavily or something. Like, I didn't hear about it being an issue for actual gameplay. So
no, I haven't heard too many issues. So it will be really interesting to see this first week as things start getting revealed and how people like the Joy-Con controllers. I mean, so do expect from us, ladies and gentlemen, a much larger review coming in the near future. At least the three of us chatting about how much we like it, and Kyle just crying in the corner because we won't let him touch the Joy-Con controller.
I'll be playing.
Let's have the next podcast. We all just make fun of Kyle the whole time.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's my only plan going into every podcast. I have notes
Fair enough.
written over here, insults for Kyle. The nose category, I've already run through all of it.
Gotten through most of those.
I'm starting to work around to him not being a real doctor, and then we'll get through it. Yeah.
All right. Moving forward, in our video game news, I definitely want to talk about Jim Sterling this week. Pull up a picture there of him for you guys.
Jimbo
let me
Slice.
move that for you because I don't like the way that looks. But yeah, Jim Sterling was he runs a YouTube channel, Jimquisition, and I think it is important to kind of talk about what happened with him. So some of you know he was sued by a gaming company, developer, Digital Homicide, right? That sounds right.
Yep.
Digital Homicide sued him for $10 million because
he hurt their feelings.
Essentially, yeah, he posted some reviews, a variety of reviews on one of their games, the Slaughter Grounds. Something like that. It is not noteworthy by any means.
Okay, don't say that. You trying to get sued for $10 million?
I'm hoping.
Oh, Tyler's getting sued.
That'd be fantastic. The stream would grow. It would just be a good move for us, I feel like, if we finally got sued.
Please sue us.
This was a 2-year battle, essentially, and the judge finally saw it and threw it out. Citing First Amendment rights, that video game reviewers have this right to express their opinions. And fortunately, Mr. Sterling had everything behind him. A good legal team, one, but also the truth. The simple fact that he didn't slander or libel their name in any way. Gentlemen, this is important to us, right? I mean, as video game players and streamers, we might not stream games that we love, but certainly we're going to give our opinions on it, and we've got to know that we can say what we want to say in a safe environment, right?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, it's shocking to me that this is even a thing, because I remember reading about this like 2 years ago, and so it took this long to figure things out. But I think it's just really important that, as of right now, our rights are safe. We don't have to worry about stuff.
Yeah.
Because I did see a video of that game. I mean, this lawsuit probably brought that game more attention than it ever would have gotten or deserved, because it looked terrible. But it's just important that he could say that it's terrible and not have, repercussions.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and there was a lot of stuff going on. Things like taking Shutterstock photos and including them in the game. I mean, it got messy, and it just turned into a big big peeing contest. I mean, honestly, when you really look at it, and unfortunately for Jim, his legal fees probably racked up, and that was most likely what Digital Homicide was going for, just to shut him up by suing him, and that's kind of the unfortunate state of gaming.
That's what's crazy with, I mean, just not just gaming, but the legal system in general. Big companies will just threaten to sue you, or sue you knowing that you probably can't handle the legal fees to fight them, even when they're obviously going to lose. And I'm glad to see that he did not back down, and he made them lose. He should countersue them for costing him pointless legal fees.
In theory, he probably could.
Yeah, but maybe he's not a dick like
probably.
them, so
I'm gonna go with that.
He's probably just tired.
Yeah,
I would think so. In happier news,
we'll go home now.
In happier news, we've got to talk about the Mexican runner.
Ooh,
Piotr Delgado.
Is this a Trump thing?
Kuselzu. No, it is not. This is not a political thing.
This is gonna make Scott jealous. Someone's better than him.
I don't even believe it. I didn't read any of the articles. I've only seen the headlines. I don't believe.
You don't believe
the
it?
Headlines?
He finally finished running all 714 NES games. Those are licensed NES games.
Scott's doing the math to make sure that that's how many there really are.
I don't think there actually are 714 licensed, so maybe he slid into some, or maybe there's some that are like duplicate titles, like you have Mario and Mario Duck Hunt and Mario Duck Hunt Track, like those. That's really, and those games are all separate and their own thing. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. I'm pretty sure there's only like 696 officially released NES games.
Well, but he did those, and then did the PAL version, the PAL games as well. So the PAL exclusives.
There it is. That makes more sense.
So yeah, that somehow gets him to 714, and he speed runs them. Come on, that's just amazing to me. He does them all. He played them all.
How fast are his speed run times though? That's the real question.
He does hold a few records.
Here, did he just do them?
Well, he didn't speed run all these games.
Right.
He just wanted to beat them all. He's a speed runner normally.
So I would assume a few of them he did speed run.
Probably.
As many as he could. I'm sure he tried to beat them as quickly as possible.
Yeah. But he does hold a few records for speed running in at least a couple games. I think Super Mario 3 is one of his big ones. But I think that is so impressive. And Scott, you've owned many NES games. Did you ever get close to playing all? How many did you own when it was all said and done?
I think I owned like 296 separate games at one
half.
point. Yeah. And there are so many of them that are just so bad that I can't even imagine how a person could sit through and actually beat them. And there's some that are just, I mean, flat out unbeatable. So I know for a lot of the games he had to have set like specific criteria, like what counts as beating this game. Like
Yeah.
how do you say that you've beaten Tetris other than you got to the Tetris kill screen? I'm assuming that's what he did because it's level 30 in Tetris is when it's like unbeatable, except for Thor Ackerlund, the Nintendo World Championship winner from 1990, who did go on in a Tetris documentary I watched to beat the previously thought unbeatable Tetris screen and make it one level further. Like it's so fast that you can't even tell like what's going on. I don't know how he did it. It's crazy.
No, I would like to read in more into it as well. I think that would be very interesting. In other news, Marvel.
That's it. That's all we gotta say about that guy.
That's all.
Yeah,
Good
I
job.
feel like
Impressive. Good job.
Good
That's-
job, guys.
It is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, but what else could that guy have done with his time? Let me tell you.
So many games. How does he get access to all those games? Like, are they on emulator or something? You know, like, is it hard to find like all 714 games or whatever?
I would
It's
assume
very-
that you could get ROMs
it's
for all of them.
exceptionally hard to find physical copies of them all, but ROMs are pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
There's some that I mean, there's no way he played a physical copy of Stadium Events. Like,
No.
Yeah.
unless
No.
it's just crazy and he spent like $3,000 on a freaking video game or more. I don't know what it's worth now, but that'd just be crazy. Crazy. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with that guy because I've played some pretty garbage tier
Oh my
NES
goodness.
games in
Oh,
my
yes.
day. I don't know.
What's the
I just-
worst? What's the worst in your opinion?
The worst
The
NES
worst. The
game.
worst I played with you, Scott, was the castle one where you have to get in the door and there's like a dragon out there. and you-
Mylon's Secret Castle.
No, he's talking about Dragon's Lair. That's
Yeah.
probably Dragon's
you can't
Lair
even
where
figure out how to do.
no, the very first screen is almost unbeatable. So
Yeah.
that's probably the worst I could imagine trying to beat because it's literally one-hit deaths like throughout the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
thing.
So hard.
Just a freaking
Not the
nightmare.
bat though. You have
Not
a
the
life
bat.
bar.
That takes
That
like
won't
7
kill you.
hits or something. Yeah. Yikes.
So what's the
Yikes.
worst one, Scott? In your opinion, what's the
Dragon's
worst one you
Lair
played?
is one of them. The worst. It's hard for me to say what the worst one I've ever played is. I mean, Dragon's Lair is really high up there. I think there's a game called Castilian that I really, really hated. It's like got a weird half 3D thing going on that doesn't work on the NES at
Ooh.
all.
Yikes.
A lot of the really bad ones are like unofficial games though, so that makes it those ones wouldn't have worked into his playthrough. Like Bible
Red
Adventures
Hood,
is
yeah,
obviously
the Bible
terrible.
Adventures.
Oh.
Bible
Bible
Adventures is a great game.
It's
Yes, yeah, sure it is. Will it's not a great game. Bible Adventures is probably one of the worst games I've ever actually
I
beaten.
really
a bit of.
want to meet the people who made Bible Adventures. That would just be a great person to meet. Like who is this person?
It's their favorite
Yeah,
game of all
Moses.
time. Like it has to
Probably.
be.
It's Moses. It's a great game.
I mean, the real worst game is probably Action 52 because it's 52 awful games. So that's what I'd have to give it to. Yeah,
That would
one
make
cartridge
sense.
of 52.
That's
Worse than like
$600.
Yeah.
yeah,
What
worse
are
than
those?
like when you end up on a random like in the early 2000s when you'd end up on a random Flash site that had some really awful stick figure games.
Oh,
like,
yes.
worse than those games.
And really
Oh,
awesome
no.
stick figure games.
Yes. Yikes. All right, so let's move on to good game topics.
Yeah, I want to
please.
talk about Marvel games. So the creative director Bill Roseman at DICE recently, the DICE convention, he said that the new Marvel games coming out will not be tied to existing Marvel stories.
It's a pretty big
Which-
step. Pretty big step. You know, all the video game like comic video games have all been based on movies pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Up to this point.
Or
And I've never
spin-offs
really
from
been
the movie.
interested.
I mean, they're somehow tied to whatever is out typically. Now, not always.
It's mostly interesting in the current climate, I would say, for Marvel because they're so all about linked universes right now. Like the TV and the movie universes exist at the same time. So you'd think the video games would as well, but apparently they're doing their own thing. They're just letting them go off on their own. So whatever.
I mean, what is the positive scenario behind this? Why even allow this or say that this is going to be a thing?
The positive for me is I just have never really been that interested in superhero games that are based off come out with the movie. You know, it's just like it just seems like a money-making project that they maybe threw together haphazardly to try and sell like a video game. But I think based on what Scott said with all the connecting of all the universes and stuff, it would have been, what if they had done a Marvel game that was connected with the universe but like its own story? That would have been interesting to me to have it go through some of but mostly I'd say pretty excited that you could it makes me interested to actually maybe buy a superhero game, like a new one, because I'm not just playing through a movie. It's something new, something different, something creative.
I agree wholeheartedly with Kyle. I don't like when video games are based off of movies, especially because then I get a bad video game version of the actor
of the movie,
and stuff like that. I don't want that at all. I like when the games can freely go with their own art style and their own stories. I think it's a much more creatively fulfilling experience for the people making the game, and therefore you get a better game.
Well, I know Kyle likes some Spider-Man games, but are there any Marvel or even comic book movie games that you guys enjoy?
Batman.
The Batman
Arkham games. The Arkham games are incredible.
Some 3 really good games.
And those are based on their own thing, right? They don't come out with the movies and stuff.
They're original stories written by Paul Dino, I believe, who was one of the writers on the Batman animated series that aired on the WB. So yeah, they're all original. There was some good
amazing Spider-Man game. They made it for that terrible movie, but it didn't go off of the movie, and I liked it. It was pretty good. You just got to be Spider-Man and swing around and stuff.
I bought
that PS4 exclusive Spider-Man looks really good.
Yeah, the new one coming out looks pretty good. I'm excited for that. Other than that, I think I had a Spider-Man game on PlayStation 1 that was based on, I think, maybe the cartoon, not any movies, and it was pretty good too. So
I think that was the one I played the demo of. Probably could you make the shell around you, like the spider shell, and then burst out of it? Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that game was rad.
Yeah, I think overall this is exciting. I think it'll give developers a chance to expand and maybe come up with new storylines that are maybe tied to some comics. The only thing that concerns me is in the interview, a developer compared it to like walking into a kitchen at a restaurant and basically being said, here's what you can make, and here are your ingredients to make it. And maybe I'm taking it out of context, but it kind of made it sound like to me, okay, you have to make a pizza. Now go to the vegetable, aisle and make your pizza. Like it didn't, maybe I'm just mixing the metaphor. But it got me a little, concerned that they'll say, okay, you can make a Spider-Man game, but it has to include Thor and it has to include Mary Jane, little things, like it's got to include some story. And I just wonder if that will be too much involvement from big studios.
I don't like vegetable pizza. I know that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Taco pizza's okay, but
no vegetables on any of my pizzas at all, please.
Except jalapenos. That's acceptable.
Green olives.
I'll take
sausage. Oh yes.
Roasted red peppers are the only thing I'm willing to put on that is not a meat or a cheese on pizza. But that's a whole other thing. I don't know how to take that guy's comment. I guess we'll have to find out how it goes down. But I would imagine that people won't be too limited. If anything, they'll probably feel more freedom that they don't have to
follow a movie script,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the hope. Are there any stories, before we move on, are there any stories from the comics, from Marvel, that you would want to see in a video game, that you would want to play in a video game?
Oh my goodness.
That's
I
meant
guess
to
when
be tough.
when we brought up this, my first thought was like an Iron Man game, playing as Iron Man, getting some like suit options, like, and it's weird because one of the video games that I played a lot of that was from a movie that wasn't necessarily a superhero movie was Transformers. I bought a Transformers video game and it was super fun. I played a ton of it, and that's kind of what my mind jumped to immediately.
Was it
like
on 360?
I don't know. It was on PS2 or something, or
Oh.
I don't even remember. But I remember playing a crap ton of this game and having tons of fun shooting different types of cannons and just mass wrecking crap. And so, I don't know. There could be some potential with different Iron Man stuff. I don't know.
That's very okay. I'm trying to. I mean, Iron Man would be really cool, but I would like one that, like, maybe even a series of games that sort of traces multiple big story arcs for different superhero characters. And I would like it for like Iron Man specifically, because as you traverse through the ages of the comics, you could upgrade his suit to like the more and more modern looking versions of the suit. Like start him off with this big, bulkier can looking thing, and then eventually he's got his suit that's like built into his skin that he has now, or whatever the hell it is. Like, it's just crazy. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Iron Man would be cool. Other than that, one of my favorite, actually now I'm just thinking about superhero games again, and one of my favorite games at the time, the awful Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Like the one, not even the Edward Norton Hulk, but like even worse than that. I had the video game of that movie, and I loved it because it was like, all I remember is you were just literally just like the Hulk just running around punching the shit out of everything, and that was all I wanted in any Hulk video game. So
that's all it should be.
Yeah, exactly. I want just that for a Hulk game, and you could unlock different versions of the Hulk in that from different like comic book eras, I think, because I know you could unlock like Gray Hulk who can talk and stuff. It was weird, but yeah, very awesome game. It's probably terrible. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played it in over a decade, so it's probably god awful. But I'd love to give it another shot now, and I want a Hulk video game like that. I really would just be interested in something for Marvel that's like the DC Universe Online, though. If you could, I want like a game where I can have lots of superheroes all in one big thing together. So that would be fun.
Yeah,
that was like, did you ever play the Marvel Lego game where you could be? That was pretty good. That was pretty fun. The mechanics in that game where you could switch between like the Hulk and that stuff, that was pretty cool. I could go for something like that. Different story,
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was kind of thinking of some of the spin-offs even of comics would be really cool, like any of the Ronin comics, get some kind of, alternate universe Marvel would be neat. I don't know. I think it's cool though that that developers and movie studios are big enough to say, you know what, video games made after movies suck generally. Let's do something different and give developers a chance to branch out. I think that's important.
I think the golden age for trying to make video games based on already existing properties was the 16-bit era, because they made a lot of cartoons into video games, and
they
the
were
art
so
style
good.
The art style of the games looked like perfect for the cartoons.
Right.
So yeah, the best licensed game I can think of any recent time is actually South Park: The Stick of Truth. That's like the last licensed thing I can remember that I really enjoyed.
What about the fractured
butthole? Fractured butthole. I think that one looks really good too. I'm excited for that. That's not out, right? I'm not crazy.
I don't know.
I think it's out. I would have bought it. I really liked the first one, so I would have gotten that. Yeah, man. Cool. Good on Marvel. Branching out.
All right, I want to talk briefly. I think I mentioned this to a couple of you guys. Ark Survival Evolved. It's kind of a survival game. It's available on a couple of. I know it's Xbox One and PC. I would assume PS4. Not entirely sure, but they're doing something a little different, and I know, Kyle, that this might interest you. They are offering $4,000 a month to 15 featured. They're calling them featured modders. So people who make mods for the game will be paid by the company to make mods. Do you think this is a good thing?
Sounds like an excellent thing for modders who have previously been pretty much unpaid, right? To make things. Yeah. I don't know much about Ark Survival, but what I know about Skyrim is I paid $60 for Skyrim SE and got more than $60 worth in mod in just mod stuff. Like I've pretty much only played the mod stuff on the Skyrim game. It's been excellent. My mind was blown with Skyrim. So I don't know this Ark game, but I imagine it's got to be good. And so it's like, sweet, yeah, let's pay these modders who are spending a ton of time. Like $4,000 a month, that's a salary right there, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's good stuff. I mean, with anything where people are getting paid, you could see some abuse happening potentially or something, but I don't know. I think it's a really cool step, you know. I think.
So I'm confused. Are they like officially employed by the company?
Not
or is it
much.
like a reward?
I think it sounds like these. I mean, to be one of the 15, it sounds like they've already chosen those 15.
Oh.
These are the people who have probably already made mods, and if they continue the upkeep on these mods, because I mean, mods get bugs or have bugs and have to be sorted out, and so if they're going to be continuously working on this, and then hopefully, I would assume, making more mods, that would be the reason. And so I would assume if you just up and said, you know what, I worked really hard last month, I'm not going to do anything next month, you're probably not going to get paid. I mean, just like any job. But yeah, that 14 or 15 modders will be making 4K as long as they continue modding, I think.
So the reason I ask is because like I know that there's a mod for Ark Survival Evolved that like puts Pokemon into it, and you can like catch Pokemon in it, and like going to Skyrim, like
that could be an issue.
I'm the type of guy who I have in my Skyrim now. There's a giant Death Star in the sky. I replaced all of the music in the Skyrim game with Toe Jam and Earl music, and instead of Spoothro Da, it's Just Do It. Shia LaBeouf's Just Do It.
You can do it, right?
So I like mods like that, and I think there's a lot of people, obviously, that there's a market for that as well. But would taking these people that are making these amazing mods and then paying them introduce some weird copyright stringence on the mods that they make? Would they have to make mods a certain way? Would they be limited in what they could do? Because I feel like if they were making oh, here's a Pokemon mod, and then the company's actually paying them for that could be problematic.
Yeah, I think it would have to be original works, original creations, or using what's already in the game. So, for example, in a lot of the Skyrim mods, it's a lot of environmental things that are just tweaked to be something new. More trees, stuff like that.
I have some of those too. There's some amazing graphics mods on there.
Yeah, and I agree with Kyle. I think the mods on Skyrim are fantastic. The only thing that's been similar to this, I think it was Valve a year ago-ish, tried to implement paid mods. Like, if you wanted this mod, you have to buy it. It just resulted in nobody buying mods. And so I think this is kind of cool that that people are going to be, or you hope that people are going to be picking up these really good mods, and having it featured from the developers of Ark Survival could be really cool. I think I agree with you though, Will. I mean, you've got some, if you're implementing again, putting lightsabers into your game, you run into some copyright problems.
Yeah,
very quickly.
So that would just be interesting to see how that would pay out, literally pay out with them paying
yeah.
people.
I assume it'll be more like the mods that I play on Skyrim, which are like entire quest lines and completely original new areas. It's like 20 hours of, or like 8 hours of content, which is a frick ton of content for a free mod download.
Yeah.
Like
Not the shout that makes it rain trains.
No, I didn't. I didn't get that one. But there's a mod. I mean, there's a mod that's like a complete overhaul of the game. It adds like 8 hours of content of stuff, but it adds a whole new like alien race to Skyrim. And I have it downloaded. I haven't loaded it up yet, but it puts like guns in the game and stuff. So I don't know.
Sweet.
The Skyrim mods just absolutely blew me away, and it also blew me away that people did this for free. Like at the end of these big mods, or like a quest cave mod, it'll come up with like a credits scene kind of thing, and like the main modder will be like, "Hey, thank you for playing this. I made this. Please hire me." Basically, it's like at the end, like, I would love to give you my, contact me. I want to work for somebody, basically is what it looks like.
Please. Hellish nightmare I live in.
So seeing that they're gonna pay him $4,000 a month, as long as they keep making like good quality stuff, quality for mods, like it's insane because it's brought me back to Skyrim heavily. Like I'd play Skyrim just for the old quests, but there's constantly new stuff coming out for Skyrim now, which is just, it's insane.
It's crazy. Cool. I just wonder if they'll eventually add more people onto this list, or if it's just going to be those modders and everyone else who mods, if they can aspire to be paid in the future too, or if that's like the type of mods people make in the opposite way. Like Will said, like Pokemon, you couldn't add Pokemon to the game and get paid for it, so maybe modders will say, well, if I want to get paid, I can't make goofy stupid mods like this at all anymore. I'm going to focus on the stuff that I know gets me paid. So
Exactly. And I would hope that for some of these modders, it would be that platform into a career, but would also be a platform to, if this, because Ark Survival's been around for a little bit, not too long. It certainly hasn't taken off, but it's been on the top charts on Steam at least for a while now. If the mods improve, because now someone, a modder can say, I can maybe work less at a real job, like out in the world, and work more on this part-time job essentially. Although 4K a month is pretty solid. That's nothing to scoff at, certainly. That could become maybe a growing point for Ark, and maybe hiring on more modders. But don't they eventually just become part of the team? I mean,
right?
They're just now on the development team, and they're not modding. They're actually, like Kyle said, creating new content for the game, original content that is essentially, I mean, if they're being paid by the Ark Survival company, Ark now owns the property. It's not the modder's property anymore.
And it's cheap for Ark, probably, right? Like
probably
they're not
like
paying multiple salaries.
Instead of paying dozens and dozens of people for each of these things, they're paying like one
individual modder. It would have to be.
Yeah.
Wonder if more companies will start doing this.
You mean, I kind of feel like it's just in the long run going to be a way to start paying employees less for video game developer companies. It's just their long run strategy to get people to accept, like, oh, $4,000 a month for this amount of work is meaningful. Here you go. And then they'll just bring them on, and it's a genius little scheme they've got going.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Definitely, I think. Now on to what I think will be our big topic of the evening, and that's the Twitch Buy Now button.
Ooh, yes.
So again, I think a few of us kind of mentioned it in our own group chat. I didn't see it get mentioned in the Discord, but our Nightbot in the chat will be telling you to join the Discord chat. I'm certain it will. Right? But as of today, as of yesterday, there is now an option to directly buy the game that you are watching streamed on Twitch. So you log on, you're watching, Dr. Lupo play Destiny. There's a button right next to, his tag. buy now. And it's got the price and everything, and it takes you, I would assume, right to Amazon. I mean, that's who owns Twitch, so it would probably go right to Amazon.
I mean, they're linked together. So
Why did it take them so long to do that?
Um,
Like, I don't know much about Twitch. I'll be the first to admit it, but like, I thought that was the thing already. Like,
it seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it?
yeah,
But
that
what's
seems like a
interesting
day
is-
one business practice.
What is interesting is I thought when I saw that, I thought immediately, oh, that's a great thing for the people who are streaming because they get a portion of
They
the
get a
revenue
portion,
when someone
yeah.
buys it watching
Yeah.
their stream. But then the bigger Twitch streamers that I saw said that they probably wouldn't activate it on their Twitch accounts because they didn't want people to question their motives on what they're saying about games, which was something I wouldn't even have thought about because I would have just been honest if I hated a game or if I loved it. But they're worried that if they activate this feature, people are going to be like, you're only saying you love this, so we'll buy it so you'll get more money. Like, so that's interesting. Like Gathalion, I saw tweet out that he probably wouldn't activate it on his thing. And I'm like, well, you're Gathalion, you probably make plenty of friggin' money already anyway, so who cares? But that's still, I didn't really think about it having any sort of downside. And then immediately actual streamers were like, hey, there's a downside to this.
No.
It's
Well, a
an
lot of people
interesting-
actually care about what people
Yeah.
think of them, not like you and me, Scott.
Yeah,
so
exactly. No, I'll whore out anything for money. Pay
Yeah,
me $5,
exactly.
I'll whore out your game on this channel. I
Yeah,
don't
no
care.
problem.
Some respect.
Yes.
Um,
I think it's a cool thing. I'm down for anything that puts more money in the pockets of, streamers and people who are trying to make a living being entertainers, I guess, the concern on, are you going to promote a game just so you can make more money through the button? I'm sure people will do that, but, I'm not going to fault Gathalion. I'm not going to say, you Dumbo, why don't you just activate it? Nobody cares. Like he can do what he wants with it, I guess, if he's worried about that. It's got to be, it's tough to have audience to be like a streamer and entertainer because I don't have that much experience. I don't have experience really with it, with having a big audience like that. But, you're always wanting to grow and you're not wanting to change who you are, especially if you're successful.
Mhm.
And they get a crap ton of crap from everybody all day long.
Yeah.
Anyways, any high level streamer, it seems like they're always just getting hate on hate on hate for everything. And so, it'd be tough to be at that level and say, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and activate this thing that is potentially going to make people just get on my chat and say, oh, he's lying about liking this game, or I don't know. But I think it's cool. I like seeing people being positive about games. Like when I see a crappy Steam game, people making fun of like a crappy Steam game. I love crappy games, and so
Bad
it's like,
rats.
yeah, like I think it's fun to play. Like there was some bear game that PewDiePie was playing a long time ago, and he like trashed it, and like it made it dive bomb on Steam, and I was like, I kind of want to buy that game, and I want to be a bear. Like it kind of sounds fun, but yeah. Anyways, I think it's a cool thing. Put more money potentially in the pockets of those streamers. Help support them more.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know exactly what that cut looks like. Are we talking dollars? Are we talking cents? I mean, really, what's it look like? And I do wonder how many people, if you're watching, let's say you're watching a Destiny stream or you're watching a WoW stream, don't you think you probably already own it? I mean, I don't know that I generally watch too many streams of games that I don't own. Maybe lately it's been For Honor. I've watched some streams of For Honor, but
right. Well, some people, I mean, you think about it like For Honor, or right now everybody is streaming Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
Like it's games that just came out that you don't know if you want to buy yet. Watching somebody else play it that you respect their opinion generally on Twitch, then you can say, all right, they like it. I've seen the gameplay. It looks intriguing to me. Now I know I'll buy it. So it makes sense for that. But any game that I don't think anybody's buying Destiny at this point through that functionality. So most of the streamers that like we watch would be Destiny streamers, I would think. And then occasionally they play something else. But I don't imagine Dr. Lupo selling any copies of Destiny to anybody at this point. Anybody who's watching his stream already has it. But
it'll be huge for Destiny 2.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that could be true. I could sell. I mean, even people who know they're gonna buy it could potentially just hold off on buying it a day so that they can buy it through their favorite streamers just to support them.
That makes
There's gonna be
sense.
people
That
who
would
do
be
that for
interesting.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, because the streamers who have loyal audiences their audiences love to support them. So I can absolutely see for the bigger ones just having people who like, I'm just gonna wait a day. I know I'm gonna buy this anyway. I'm gonna wait. Just click it once they're streaming it. Especially any streamers that get early access to stuff.
Oh,
Like
Right.
if you were somebody who
Cash
had
money.
permission to stream Breath of the Wild early, like some people get to stream it like a day before it comes out, basically. So then somebody who's watching could just buy it through you right there, and you're printing money on something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. So do you? I mean, I try to browse Twitch as much as possible if I'm doing something else, because then I can go and I can support someone even just by being on their page and maybe jumping in the chat occasionally. Do you think that this will drive more regular streamers to purchase or to try to play new games early on?
I think it will
Absolutely.
have
It's
an
gonna make them
effect on
print
that.
money, like Scott was saying.
Yes, I absolutely. If it were me and I would say to myself, like, I already like to play new games anyway when they come out. So
Yeah.
if I could guarantee that I might get some new viewers who are looking specifically for this new game, and that some people in my stream that normally come for the game I'm most known for will see something new and they might buy it through me to support me, like, I would absolutely be motivated to start playing.
off
We're already
pay off
planning
your
on
own game.
streaming Zelda. I mean,
Yeah.
that's in
Yeah.
action. We're gonna do that in real life.
Yes. That's my life, though. That's just because I want to play it and I want to feel like I'm not working for the time that I'm playing that game. So that's the
Yeah.
only reason I'm going to be streaming.
I think it'll be
Yes.
really interesting to see how this plays out if we start hearing that Twitch streamers are having problems with it. I definitely feel like from the outside looking in that there might be some skepticism. Is this guy playing it because he actually enjoys it? Is what he says tainted by the fact that he might be trying to sell you? But if it's a small number, if we're talking cents, it's just kind of a thank you. Thank you for using Twitch. Thank you for using the service. And not so much, please sell our games. Please make people buy from Amazon. So hopefully it works out. I think it'll be cool. And yeah, I can definitely think of a few streamers I'd want to support rather than waiting or buying the game day one. Buy it day two. It's not that big of a deal.
If it's like 5% of the if they get like 5% of the sale, that's like $3 per. I mean that'd be pretty substantial.
That's
right?
essentially
That's-
what they get from a subscriber, and
Right.
it's something that people are already spending their money on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're more likely to get it, I feel like, than a subscriber, because a subscriber is, you're saying to yourself, I'm specifically just spending my money on this streamer, as opposed to being like, I'm already buying this and I can help them out. Like,
Yeah.
you get more perks for the person and the same amount of money for the person streamer. It's good stuff. It's a good deal.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yes.
I'll be tempted.
Personally, I don't see that the controversial, like, oh, they're gonna think I have ulterior motives, blah blah blah. I don't personally see that panning out to be something big, but
I don't either. But our Twitch stream has 400 followers as opposed to like 180,000 followers on
Yeah,
Twitch. So
true.
you
And
get
that-
a
and
lot
that's
more
why-
negative people jumping in when you're
Yeah.
bigger. So it's, yeah. But I would honestly, if it were me, really, if people thought I was a shill, I just wouldn't really give a crap at all, because I know I'm not. So
Yeah.
people and my actual fans would understand that I'm not. I mean, so it really wouldn't affect me.
No.
That's it. That's
Well,
all.
cool.
All right.
Well, cool. Well, we have reached that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to turn
That time.
to the
That
chat
time, the chat,
and answer the
time.
questions that you have. I have seen multiple
So
questions in the chat.
I actually saw
so
one that
now's
I
your
wanted
chance.
to ask.
What one?
That I saved in my brain.
Good.
Which is what were your
Saved.
favorite childhood games? So I'm just thinking,
Ooh.
like, pick a favorite game from when you were a kid. When you
video
think
game?
of being a kid and playing a game, what's that one that like pops
What's
into
the
your head?
one that pops up?
Yeah, I've been
Sonic
thinking
3
on
and
it.
Knuckles.
I've been thinking on it, so I'll answer too. Obviously, Mega Man 3 is a game that I played the crap ton of. But when I think of if I have to pick aside from that, and I think of games that were more actually made for my generation,
Yeah.
I think Super Mario Sunshine is probably like one of my favorite games that I can think of spending hours and hours and hours playing.
I was gonna say Mario
I love
64
Sunshine.
would have been probably the biggest one. Yeah, I mean maybe even The Legend of Zelda on the NES. Not that I ever beat it as a child, but I played it a lot as a child, just exploring and going around. But I would say I probably spent a majority of my time when we talk early days on Mario 64. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. All right. And then there's that. I'm gonna answer one question that comes up every 2 seconds. When is Destiny Cop Season 2 coming out?
Never.
We're working. We're friggin' working on it. We answer this
Yeah, we
question
are.
every
Every
god dang
freaking
day.
week.
I'm gonna start doing a weekly update on Destiny Cop's progress, just so people will leave me alone about it, maybe for a second.
Well, I have to start a blog for my class, and that's what I was going to make the blog.
All right, then
so there you
do
go.
it.
I'm
Then
do it for you.
I guess we better make some progress.
Oh, there's a question.
Oh,
What do you
no.
think of this week's Iron Banner? Have you guys played it at all yet?
Nope.
Nope.
I have. I
Oh, you
played it.
did. All right.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I played
Why
some
weren't you filming,
Iron Banner
Kyle? What are you doing?
Supremacy.
You
I'm
could've
playing
been
it so I can
filming.
get that sweet hand
I love
cannon that's like
Supremacy.
my dream gun that
Oh,
is
I
at the
love that
vendor.
hand
It's got
cannon.
Firefly and explosive rounds. And I didn't know that you could get that on a high impact hand cannon, so I'm grinding for that one hard. But yeah, it's Supremacy. It's fun. It's different because of the new meta, like way different. It kind of it's not as good because you can't just confidently take out a fusion rifle or a shotgun. There's the diversity kind of it really makes it hurts Supremacy a lot, in my opinion, because I like the chaotic nature of it. But it's good. I mean, I like Supremacy a lot, so I was having fun today.
Good.
I won about probably half the games and then got stomped half the games. Good stuff.
Gotta hold out for that lingering song with Feather Mag, Luck in the Chamber, and mine's Brace Frame, but I think Small Bore also takes down your magazine. And then you can get that 4-shot Luck in the Chamber machine where it's just 50% chance, like you're 2-tapping somebody, and it's beautiful.
I saw Fallout tweet that today, and I was like, he's talking about Scott's gun.
Oh yeah, he is.
Scott's
That's my gun. I love it. I'm so sad. Like that's why I can't even bring myself to play Iron Banner because I'm so sad that everybody's gonna have it now, and it makes me. What? Who is saying? Oh, good. I like that question. Smash or pass,
Yep.
Amanda Holiday.
I typed smash because
yeah,
it was
it's
a good
obvious.
question. It
The
deserves
answer
to be
is obvious. You smash. All right.
smash or pass. And all
Just
of it.
saying. All right, guys. Kill, fuck, marry. I don't know. Cora Ray, the Queen, and Amanda Holiday.
Oh,
Kill
no.
a Cora Ray.
Kill them all.
Oh,
I
kill
hate
the
them
man.
all.
Jeez.
Fuck the
Right.
Queen. Marry Amanda Holiday. There you go.
That's a solid answer. There you
I
go.
That's pretty good.
I don't think anyone could justify anything different.
No.
Like, what
Well,
would
you
your
could
be?
marry the Queen, then you become a king. Like, I mean, that's.
I don't think-
it's worthwhile, right?
I don't think
don't
you do
know.
become a king because I think
No.
if you read the lore that they're matriarchal.
If you read the lore,
Up here with
Exactly.
a lore.
I don't read the lore. I'll have Tyler read it for me
Yeah,
because I'm not
I
a
would be
Tyler.
honest.
Read
If the
more
lore,
lore
we
and
would
find
know.
out if we could be the Reef King. That's next
Yes. the
next week. Can that be a thing?
Can we be the
See,
Reef King?
Carlos
Let me
said
break
he would
that
marry
down
the
for you.
Queen, so in your face.
Well,
All right,
that proves
Oh.
my point. Carlos is the worst.
that's true. He is the worst. Damn
There
it!
you
You're
go.
right. You bested me.
Get out of here, Carlos. All right. Well, I have not seen any
still
more
have- We
questions.
still have like a minute.
We got like a minute.
Look. Got a minute. Oh my gosh. Well, there were tons of questions earlier. Now I'm not seeing any
Yeah.
because people like to talk about what we're talking about, and they're not asking us questions. So
Answer
we.
questions.
I just want a question. That's all I want.
What? I got nothing.
All right. Well.
All right,
Oh,
well-
wait, I did see one. What was the best Pokemon Red, Blue, or Green version? They're all
Oh.
the same.
They're all the
Really?
yeah. So you want to
Red
play
is the
red,
best 'cause
obviously.
it's got Charmander on it.
Yeah.
so-
Well, actually, if you're referring to the original releases, it was green and then blue was updated, so they got rid of a lot of bugs, and then they just made the Pokemon list from red and green and made it red and blue in America, but it was blue version. So if you're going off those three, it's definitely blue. But my first one was red. I liked red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had red. Scott, will you
Somebody
play
had-
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Man, I would really, really like to. It looks cool. Everything.
You buy that game before you buy Overwatch. I will
No,
not.
listen, you stupid half-beard bastard. Listen to me, all right? I thought that game looked really cool, like the first time I ever saw footage of it, and I really want to play it, and I really prefer single-player games to multiplayer games, so I would buy it before Overwatch. But Breath of the Wild's coming out, and I know I'm gonna have absolutely zero time to play
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn until it's on. By the time I'm done with Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn will probably be on sale. So I'd rather just wait and pick it up.
Hey,
Eventually,
that.
I will play it, but there's no way that if I got that game, I would do anything but play Breath of the Wild for the next week anyway. So who cares?
Smash or pass Toland the Shattered? That was a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Toland.
Well, chat
Smash.
listeners, thank you for joining us
It's been a time and a half.
on this February 28th edition
that-
of
Yes.
Husky
Husky
Radio.
Radio.
Were you gonna say something? Were you gonna get
Well,
my
I was
face?
gonna say, is that time 40 minutes? Because then it would have been a time and a half. That's all I'm saying. Because that's an hour. I was just making a joke about how Will said it's been a time and a half. You know. So if you make it so time equals 40 minutes, and then you divide that in half, you get 20. And then if you add those together,
It gets funnier as you explain it. It gets funnier. It's so good.
Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, it was a good joke. I thought it was pretty clever math right on the spot right there. Too.
Oh, join us. Join us later this week as we unbox, unwrap, and cuddle with our Nintendo Switches.
And make fun of Kyle.
We will have
make fun of
multiple,
Kyle.
I'm certain, multiple live streams going.
I'm
We
gonna
will
do
have.
a stream of me throwing my Nintendo Switch out the window, just so you know.
This
Live
is for
stream.
Kyle, and then
It's
just
live
chuck it. I
stream.
love that.
I'm
I
gonna
think
be-
that'd be
Chucking
hilarious.
down 4 stories.
I'm
to
gonna
test
be
its durability.
live streaming me sitting on the couch, just sitting there
Yeah,
Twiddling
So-
my thumbs.
twiddling thumbs. So you can watch that.
I like it.
Thumb
like it.
Live, yeah.
Make sure
Live
that you guys
Facebook
check
Live.
out the links below. We've got lootcrate.com/huskyraid. Promo code salsa gets you $10 off your purchase. Make sure you follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with all of the cool things that we do. Dig the Discord chat if you ever
Yeah,
want to
Discord.
keep up with us.
Go to
let's-
teespring.com/huskyraid. There's
Yes.
still a few days. There's still 6 days left.
6
on
days
the-
left.
Oh, yes.
I saw
6
something weird on the all I
days
got was
left.
a t-shirt. Still has 6 days left on that.
Get your
Buy it.
t-shirt. Buy
And it's
it.
gone forever, and you'll never have a chance to wear it. And then, like
Mhm.
10 years from now, when you're obviously still regularly watching content on this channel, and we're millionaires, and you run into us at Disney World on one of our many lavish vacations,
Yeah.
you won't have the shirt on, and we
No,
won't.
we won't know you.
Won't
OG.
recognize you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will not sign
You
your
won't
autograph.
even. Yeah.
Oh.
It is what it is.
There it is. All right, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Let's see. I want to raid someone on YouTube.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez, it's like a
of
work.
course. I know. I'm gonna do all this stuff. So
Husky Radio always raids. That's our thing.
That's our calling card. We've clearly been rating people on YouTube all along.
go
Oh,
and
good.
check out Agent 4 002. He is playing Iron Banana, and he's called it the
Oh.
Dab Edition. Make sure you
Please.
let him know.
Oh, we can get on board with that.
Yeah, we can get on board with that. Make sure
I'm
you
down
go
with
and
this.
let him know that this is a Husky raid
Raid.
and enjoy a Husky
raid.
raid. Husky raid
It's our
raid.
raid. I don't know what to say for our raids.
It's a Husky raid.
Gay
Husky
boy
babes. Husky babes.
Just taking our shirts off. What?
raid. Yeah. Oh, taking off our shirts again. Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, that's perfect. As we end
Right,
this
that's
stream, you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us at Husky Radio.